So we will have this is a typical session from Vocation and Profit Village. So, and we have a small take-in that is typical from the village. So we want to invite you to choose an emoticon and put it in the chat. So how do you feel today? Mercy, what do you see in the chat?
I see a lot of faces. One with hearts. I think there are a lot with hearts. One as an angel, Antoine.
Okay, happy face, and then excellent.
Mateo has his glasses for the sunny Europe.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Okay, so welcome to everyone. We're super happy to have you all. And so we'll start the agenda. So basically, this session is called Learning Session. So we'll have a welcoming and introduction. We'll have a time to learn more about the design, methodology, experience of from the protagonists themselves about summer school. And then we will have an interacting space with members of Economy Francesco and have a space of dialogue and questions. And then we will have a best memories of summer school La Verna, and then we will close it. But something to keep it in mind on this space, and this, we're invited to each one of you to have a learning experience and inter-dialogue. So it's an intercultural, interdisciplinary, and intergenerational dialogue. So because we are from all around the world, we have different ages, but also we come from different disciplines. And we want to put it at the center of this space for today. And now we'll start with the fun part. All right, and so
I will stop sharing for you
yes.
to show us the surprise that we have.
Yes.
Really good to see you all, your faces.
All right. So we're starting now.
We're here at Lavanna, Tuscany at the Economy of Francesco Summer School with over 70 people from around the world looking at narrative capital, social capital, and spiritual capital.
It's a very wonderful place. Not only you have the chance to study, to know people, to meet people, but also to be close to God, because it's your sanctuary, so we are lucky that at any time, everything reminds you about the Creator.
I am very interested on this perspective on the narratives. Since my background is on linguistics, it brings me a lot of inputs.
For me, the Economy of Francesco allowed us to put our talents, creativity, and studies to help the world to become more sustainable, more inclusive, more solidarian.
I'm trying to find my vocation, and this experience for me is important because I'm an economist, but how my life can contribute for the new economy.
I am at the Economy of Francesco Summer School here in La Verna because I think it's very important to understand the different ways of capital. It's very interesting to find the differences between spiritual capital, social capital, and narrative capital. In a way we can construct and build the journey towards integral ecology.
I find it super interesting, the proposal of the Pope to kind of like pursue an economics done in a Christian way, let's say, or at least try to think about this possibility. I think that it's a great opportunity to have a Pope who's interested in the economy, in how like it relates to people and stuff.
I wanted to know other people like me that have a passion in economics, but an ethical economics.
I came here not knowing anyone except for my friends. And now I found out that there are actually some people here who are working on sustainability, environment and climate change issues. And actually with some of them, we are part of the same community.
I feel like the economy of Francesco brings this community because it's a common ground and many people looking for something more.
I feel very grateful and also very empowered because here I can see that there are so many people thinking in a very disruptive, innovative and brave way to really tackle social inequalities, violence and so many other social and economic problems.
I love the experience of being here, talking to many different profiles from around the world, sharing knowledge, sharing cultures. It's a very enriching opportunity.
I'm a Muslim and I realized that it's very similar to Francesco economic thought and I decided to join us with my honor.
Economics is not just about the sharing of things, it's the consumption of goods. It's like how to maintain the equity in all over the world.
My main highlight about the social and spiritual capital, it's about that we could co-create both of them in our communities.
In economic, we need to put accent to the relationships. We need to work together.
Education is really important, and I think it's in the university phase where we can make a lot of impact and change, especially in changing paradigms and how people view the world.
I'm working on gender education and sustainable development, trying to help young girls to access higher education. I think I would do my part, even if it is a little bit, but it will be one step towards equal education of all.
Our economy can direct people's action towards building stronger communities and better understanding around the world.
This is the right place that people to get their inspiration and really then to come back and change our communities.
I'm feeling like I'm in the best experience that I've ever had in my life. Being connected with the world is a way to think about others' perspectives of lives and how to do economy. And I'm feeling really grateful to be here.
I'm a dreamer, I'm an optimist, so for sure I believe there is hope. I think that this community empowers us to believe there is hope.
We need to act now so that we can preserve the Mother Earth for our children to come.
So it's quite a challenging situation right now in the actual world, but we are not scared.
Wow. Isn't it beautiful? Wow. Well, we went to...
Great.
Hi, Benedict.
Is this video also available on YouTube or somewhere else?
Yeah, it will be soon, very soon. This is the premiere. So we want to also say hi to Aneka. She's here. We want to say hi as well to Paolo Santori. Where's Paolo? Ecco. Ciao, Paolo. And also a Father Bilson, did I'm saying right? Andrei? Okay. Okay, super. Okay.
Estamos en encuentro mucho tiempo, pero está.
Bellissimo. Okay. And now we're passing to the second part of the learning session. So it's interaction, time to learn. So we pass the word to Lugino. And so we have this question for you, Lugino. Why La Verna and the theme spiritual, social, narrative capital to go beyond capitalism? Lugino, Professor.
Yes, first of all, good afternoon or good morning or good evening, depending on the country, to everybody. Thank you for this idea to have this moment for an upgrading, for renewing our experience. The people like me and other we were there, but also for including other young people or people in the Economy of Francesco community that they were not there physically, but they are part of the same experience. But this year we are working as Economy of Francesco, as you know, also in this issue of spiritual capital. That is something that for us is very important, because spirituality is an asset of our society. Spirituality has been always an asset of humanity. Societies, communities were able to survive also thanks to this resource, thanks to this stock given by religion, spirituality, God, prayers, psalms, that this stock was part of our way of imagining the world, included the economy of the world. In the last few years, in many countries, in particular in the Western countries, this asset, this capital, this stock made by spirituality, inner life of people has been seriously challenged, because we are in general not anymore able to understand, to be in touch with the past tradition, spiritual tradition of the world, including Christianity, because it's very difficult for, in particular, young people to understand the heritage of Christianity today, because there is no bridge in language, no bridge in symbolic mediation, no bridge in words, in the way we narrate. The narrative dimension was another issue of the summer school. Then our idea was that without a new spiritual capital, also the economic life, labor, work of people will be in trouble, because labor, work must be founded, must be built upon something else, because the work is not self-founded. We cannot we cannot build, establish work in itself. Work and then economic life needs to be established, to be founded in other dimension of life, and the spiritual dimension is still very important. Then we think that a new capitalism, more than new capitalism, a new market economy, or because capitalism is a complex word, but a new a new economy needs a new spirituality, because spirituality is also an economic matter. Spirituality has an economic dimension. And then we worked on that, on the narrative dimension of that, in the social capital, in the other forms of capital that are very much important today for a new season of the global economy, more respectful of the local traditions, the indigenous traditions, the other countries, not just the Western countries that has invented the capitalism and economic theory and so and so. I think the starting point was the beginning was very promising. We were all convinced that we have to continue, we have to go on that. Also, the presence of Anika from the Muslim, the non-Western perspective, the Islamic perspective were very important. And then we are all convinced that this spiritual capital, this spiritual economy, the spiritual dimension of economic life must be also one of the paths of our future commitment as Economy of Francesco.
Thank you, Luigino. Thank you so much. And Marcy, maybe you have a question for somebody else in the in the central team.
Yes, thanks, Vale, and thanks, Luigino. Now we want to invite Matteo to share to us how was the experience of being able to think, design, and articulate La Verna for you. What were your motivations or inspirations?
So thank you, everybody, and thank you for this video. It was really touching for all of us that were there, but I also see somebody in the comments that said that they felt all the vibe that was there, even if they weren't there. So, somehow I had different roles in the past in EoF. I was at the beginning at the head of the village policies and happiness. Then I did some other stuff online, and then eventually I was involved in the summer school in the first edition, but more on this one. I mean, in this one, I together with Valentina, I coordinated, and together with the staff, of course, the whole organization, not only some teaching, but the whole organization, the whole design of the summer school. And I really felt my place in EoF by doing this. So in terms of vocation, I kind of come together very well. I really felt like this was the thing that I could do best for the EoF. Not that the EoF can be only the summer school, of course. So the summer school is just one small piece of EoF. Of course, the EoF is much bigger than the 80 people meeting together once a year. And so there is need for everything else that is going on in EoF, but for me, it's just the right thing to do, and because it really fits well with the kind of intense involvement that I want to have, but of course that I cannot give continuously. So I could not be involved in such an intense way for a long time because of many other commitments, including family and work. But for 1 week, it's just the thing. So very intense, very an all-encompassing 24-hour-a-day experience. So this I felt it great for me to be asked and to be able to serve in this role. Concerning the experience, I must say that I mean I was involved in organizing these kind of activities in the past, but this one was very special in many ways. Because it was really a all-around experience. It was not just academics, but it was there was I mean, we paid attention, but I don't. Of course, it was we together designed it, but it came along very naturally. Also the three themes that we chose 3 subjects: so spiritual, narrative, and social, we thought, well, let's not just talk about that, but let's also experience that. And so we built the summer school in such a way that we had real spiritual, not only talking about spiritual capital, but having spiritual moments, not only talking about social capital, but really getting to build our social capital, not only narratives, but really working on our narratives, on our stories, on what we have to tell each other, what we have to tell to the world. And it all came together very well. And so I think this strict interconnection between the reasoning and the experience that we had really contributed to make it well, I hope an example also for our future. I really looking forward to the next edition and to do more. And I think, I mean, so we learned a lot. So we learned that choosing a place which is inspired by San Francisco was the right choice. So we will go wherever San Francisco can be with us, doing both academic but also very down to earth and practical work was the right choice, and so on. So we did a lot of things that work well, that could be a template for next editions. And I stop here because I already talked too much.
Thank you so much, Matteo. And as Matteo was sharing at the program, in one moment, we have this idea of the diary or journalist through narratives, right? So Stefano couldn't be here today, but he is sharing. He wants to be part of it, and so I will share a small video that he shared. He sent it for us.
So good morning, everybody, and thanks for giving me the chance to participate in this workshop, even though I could not attend it in person due to some job obligation. For what concerns my role as the coordinator of the diary activity within the EoF Summer School, I think that the relevance of it was connected to the awareness of being all connected by doing the same activity. So in different parts of the world with different time zones, we were all involved in one task, which was primarily thinking about ourselves as individual and as a collective group of people who is trying to rethink and negotiate some of the issues of the present day world connected to economics. So respecting specificities, but at the same time being connected to each other, I think that was the value of this work. And also, I think that for what concerns my vocation, I've always been interested in literature, in words, in writing, because I do believe that these tools have got the power to make a change in impact and to respond to some of the issues we all face. And so having the opportunity to present and to use my expertise and somehow talent in the most evangelical sense within this the project, the Economy of Francesco, was to me the proof that we need different skills. There's space for different capacities, talents, once again, to try and find solutions to the challenges posed by capitalism. So thank you very much and enjoy the workshop.
Well, we want to say thank you to Stefano. And somebody has a question for him. You can leave it in the chat, and I can send it to him, and he can write it back after the session. And now I'm passing the word to Marcy. Marcy?
Yes, thanks, Vale. And I think what Stefano said represent what all think about this beautiful experience. And now we want to invite Nayeli. I think you all know her. to share with us how was the experience of participating in a second version of the summer school. She went also to Gubbio, but now we want to know your experience, dear Naye, in La Verna, and what did it mean for you to contribute for the social networks? You were all with us, sharing the videos and the photos, and what impact did it have on your life and your vocation?
Thank you, Marcy. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to see you all. It's great to see you now, everyone. Well, it was a work that everyone helped because you were sharing pictures and videos and I was taking them as well. So thank you because you were also helping me. Thank you so much. And it was a great experience, Marcy. Both of them, Gubbio and La Verna, very different, but enrichment. Talking specifically of La Verna, this place was so amazing. You know that, you can tell. It invited you to reflect deep and to pray. Actually, it was great to get together every night with all of you after the sessions to pray. It just inspired you to do that. There were double the people or more this time in La Verna as well, and no masks anymore. So I think in most ways, it was greater this time. About social media that you asked, it was great for me to serve on this topic. First of all, because I love social media. I've been working using social media to inspire people and inviting them to support or to immerse in other realities that maybe we don't know. I've been doing this for more than 10 years now, so I love this. And it was a great opportunity to do it as well in this amazing place. I use social media as a tool to make an impact and change. So I believe it's definitely a change maker tool. What else can I tell? You know, young people is there, the future is there. So it's important to understand and use them well, you know? And that's what I try to do. The opportunity to serve on this let me immerse a little bit more on the details, all the details, you know. I was an observer of every single person and all the details that La Verna had to share with us. So then I was able to share that as well with the people that wasn't there. It inspires me even more to keep doing what I do with all of my love and with all of my joy, and to keep sharing the good, the truth, and the beauty of everything that we do. So as Mateo said, I'm looking forward for the next summer edition, and I hope to do it better the next time. Thank you all, and it's so nice to see you. Thank you, Marcy.
Thanks, Naye, and thanks for sharing your experience and how you put your vocation and your talents into the service. I think we all were touched by this prayer moment at night that was really, really spontaneous. And now we are passing to another part of our session. So Vale, please.
Okay, so now, thank you, Marcy. Now is the interacting and space and dialogue. So in order to do that, we're going to open it with two participants of the summer school. So one is Cecilia from Mexico, and then we'll pass it to Andres Cano from Spain, that he didn't know anything about Economy Francesco before La Verna. So we're going to have these two experiences, and then we will open this space. So we kindly ask you, after Andres finished sharing their experience, you can put our questions in the chat, or express if you have any questions about the experience of Luigino, Matteo, Nayeli, Stefano, and Cecilia and Andres. And so in order to learn from one another. And as well, Anika, if you want to share something in this space as well, you're very welcome. So passing to Ceci, bye.
Hi, I think that I'm on mute.
No, we can hear you super.
Okay. So sorry because I'm here in Mexico and this is 8 o'clock and some people are doing exercise. So probably if you hear some noise, it's because they are outside. So thank you for the opportunity to share my experience. So I prepared some notes because I don't want to forget anything. So I want to share with you. So I'm grateful of having been part of the second edition of the Summer School of Economics of Francesco in Berna, one of the San Francisco's favorite places where he lived at the decisive moment in his journey, and he received the stigma. I was fascinated at that part of our preparation for the summer school in Berna. We need to keep a diary to put in practice the narrative capital and understand the importance of storytelling. In Berna, we share with the other participants our personal narratives, and we try to find a common point between our reflection, because it matters what the story do to the world and what the world does to the stories, and encourage me to be more mindful of the stories that I tell. The different lectures from Professor Bertolazzi, Bruni, Gui, Rizzoli, and Malik provide us skills to reflect the spiritual, social, and narrative capital beyond capitalism. One of my favorite activities during the summer school was the face-to-face with San Francis. This was a time which allowed me to walk through the Berna woods, be in touch with nature, contemplate things, colors, shapes, rocks, to listen to the wind, the leaves of the trees, smell the forest, be present and admire the perfection. I discovered the hidden connection to generate happiness. The most precious and beautiful gift during this summer school and the Bernas was the wonderful people that I met, with whom I found that we share similar values and goals. I appreciate the deep conversation, the shared reflection, the players under the starry sky, the laugh, and so many songs in different languages that only brought us closer together. It was a truly joy to be together. Reflecting to the impact that the summer school had on me, I was impressed by the engagement of the participants whose academic research leads them to strongly question capitalism and grasp the importance of issues such as injustice, inequality, poverty, and environmental. The willingness of the participant to promote a positive change to the world, and the commitment to create a new spiritual, social, and narrative capital. And I will stop here to give a chance to Andres to share with us.
Thank you, Ceci.
Okay, if it's okay, I go. Well, thank you first for setting up this this meeting, and then for your questions, Vale. I think that I want to highlight mainly 2 points. The first one is the human capital. I was really impressed.
Andres, maybe the people doesn't know the questions.
Okay. So maybe I don't have them write them down. So yeah.
I can say it.
Yeah,
okay, so you tell us in La Verna that you didn't know anything about economy, Francesco, before coming. And so basically you find it in the website and you sign in.
Yeah.
So how is your experience, but also how is coming back in this month after La Verna? If La Verna wakes you something special, what impact has you in these days, and if you have any impact in your life, in your vocation today?
Yeah, thank you for saying the questions again. I knew the economy of Francesco, but Francesco the Pope, so I didn't know that there was this group dedicated and these ideas and stuff. So I guess that one of the things that really struck me, if that makes sense, was the human capital. Meaning the people were, as Cecilia said, super interesting. Everyone living in their own fields. Ceci, for instance, is working with the elderly or something. So I wasn't expecting to to meet these kind of people from like such different areas, but still like super interested in their work and also in the works of others, right? So I think that this is like the other characteristic of the human capital. First, they're like super interesting, and second, super interested, which sometimes it's kind of like a bad adjective, but I think that in the summer school it wasn't at all. It was more of like this disposition to like ask questions and be kind of like super open, super willing to embrace others' ideas and stuff. So that's like regarding the human capital that really, really impacted me. And then the second idea is that I think that we have like EoF has an amazing mission. Sorry, and this gave me hope and then commitment in the sense of like hope, because I really think that this mission is super beautiful and super, I don't know, relevant or important for like nowadays world. But also kind of like made me realize the importance of commitment in order to take care of this mission and to be serious in our research, or to kind of like try to convince others, as Bruni just said, right? Like try to bring others from who don't necessarily belong to our world in that sense, no? So yeah, I would highlight the human capital, the hope, and then the importance of commitment with this vision.
Thank you, Andrés. Gracias. Gracias, Cecilia, también. And now we're open the floor for you to start doing this dialogue with the speakers and protagonists. So if you have any questions, comments, please raise your hand or ask in the chat. Lachlan. Lachlan, do you want to say it aloud? Or maybe not. Oh, yeah. Lachlan, go ahead.
Hi, Vale.
Hi, yes. He's a senior from Vocation and Profit. So.
Hello, old friends and new friends. Thank you for all being on the call. Well, I was a bit late, but what's heartwarming that clearly the summer school inspired in all of you was the value of being human. And my only question is that as we try and connect the theory of a good world into an existing world, do we cause a problem by using the word capital to describe human, rather than starting the other way around to say that the economy we seek looks towards the dignity of people, and treating it as a fungible capital diminishes the objective we are after? Does that make sense, Vale?
Well, yeah, I think it's a beautiful question and reflection. So thank you. And I think it's somebody of the participants, Mateo, I don't know, or Lugino, or somebody in the staff want to just start this dialogue. Please go ahead. Thank you, Lachlan.
Vale, Anika raised her hand if I understood well.
Okay, but maybe we can give the feedback to Lachlan and then goes with Anika. Thank you for letting me know.
If I may, so we thought about the issue. So first, we didn't. I mean, the three capitals that we mentioned in our title are not. I mean, there's no human capital there. Okay, it's the spiritual, it's the social, it's the narrative. But still, I take the question as. By extensions, it could be easily extended to those issues as well. So we thought about it in the beginning. We kind of surrendered to the to the fact that it's both conventional and also to some extent useful to think about. Well, I mean, traditionally, I mean, or at least the concept that we know best is the social capital, and although it's still to some extent a controversial issue, to some extent we haven't really understood all its implications and so on and so forth, but we know, I mean, there's an extensive literature on social capital by now, and I think that using the word capital is useful at least insofar as it allows us to understand it as a stock resource, so something that accumulates over time. So as you see, and not a flow variable. So as you see, we use capital here in a very aseptic way, and in the title we played a little bit with that, because we said capitals beyond capitalism. So the capitals we like are these kinds, so the social capital and the spiritual capital, and they might help us to overcome, or to overcome the current state of capitalism. But we share with you that that playing with words can be also dangerous. Okay, so it's not, I mean, everything must be taken with a grain of salt.
Thank you, Matteo, and thank you, Loglin, for bringing this dialogue up. And now, Anika.
Hi, everybody. Salam alaikum.
Hi.
It's so lovely to see all of you again. So I was going to refer to this term that we've put, capital, you know, after social narrative and all this. And as I think I wrote an article, I don't know if everybody has written that. It was like a tribute to, you know, the efforts, the brilliant efforts, Matteo, Professor Bruni, and each one of you, you know, Chiara, you guys, it was brilliant. And somebody said that it was life transforming. And I am seeing the effects, especially on our old John. Like he's like uncontrollable. He constantly sending me those messages and saying, oh my God, he wants to change the world now. I was like, oh my God, imagine, John, if you were at Assisi, the impact I would have on you. 1,200 people. This is only 80 people group. But yes, it was life-changing. I was only there for 2 days. Imagine if I was there for the whole 5 days. But thank you so much for choosing the place. Because I'm a Sufi, I'm a spiritual person, as you all know. And the sacred places and shrines, you know, have a meaning. It has a purpose. It is for us to heal ourselves. And before I come to the capitals term, which I would also like to change, I'm just going to share my personal experience. When I was the first night, when I went to my room and I said to Chiara, I need a water bottle because, you know, I'm coming from a city and this is the bad habit. And she said, no, you can drink water from the tap, from bathroom. And I was like, no, we don't drink water from bathroom here, not in the UK. And she said, you are in Laverna, so drink this water. And I want to thank her because I'm telling you, I'm not joking. It literally healed me. When I went there, I was having this issue with the stomach. I was on medication. And I have stopped taking that medicine, literally. For 3 days, I was drinking that water and that water healed me. And this was, you know, coming face to face with St. Francis, for me, is that experience personal. And I was telling everybody, and everybody as in my community, my people. And guess what? One of them, they said, but you're a Muslim. What were you doing with, you know, in between all these Catholic people? And also in a sanctuary, you should start, you know, something around Mohammedan economy, you know, the economy of Muhammad. I said, no, why should I? Because we weren't there. It wasn't about, I wasn't there as a Muslim, to be very honest. I was there as a Christian, you know. A Muslim can be Christian. I mean, I don't see all this, these limitations that we impose on ourselves. So that was the reason I instinctively chose the word solidarity, which means soul, and we are all connected through that one source. Now, coming to the capital term, I think because capital people, yes, it has that negative connotation as well of capitalism, but I also gave it a lot of thought. And I actually, in the article I wrote, I've used the term force rather than capital, especially for spiritual force rather than spiritual capital, because it's intangible. You know, capital is tangible. You know, it's said that if you can't touch it, it's not capital. It ain't real. So maybe I think this is an opportunity for all of us to maybe think about it, and especially if we are writing, all of us are writing new narratives, new stories now. So maybe we will come up with a term which can, if we are going beyond capitalism and we want to overturn capitalism, so maybe we can also replace this term. And from God's grace, something will just emerge for us. But I'm going to use the term force now because it's that intangible, this energy between us that you all saw. It was literally at play there, and it kind of healed so many of us. So yeah, thank you.
Annika, thank you so much. Jesus from Mexico was saying, this idea of interreligious dialogue as well, that was so present with you at La Verna, and he was recognizing. So I think this is beautiful. Antoine, and before I pass it the word to Antoine, just to let you all know that we only have 5 minutes to go. So, so basically the strategy now is that you put it in the chat if you have any comments or questions. So in order to respond maybe after, because now we were listening Antoine, and then we will have the best moments of La Verna, and then we will closing, okay? Okay, Antoine.
I have a question about the capitals. What would be the position of these three capitals in the future, especially in the era of the AI? Do we need to evolve these capitals to cope with the situation?
Okay, Antoine. And this question was referring to what do you live in La Verna, or you just mentioned it now that the topic arises? Just because to understand that now we're just learning about the experience of La Verna. So, so my point will be that you put the question in the chat, okay. So maybe we can reflect it together. If that sounds good to you?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, good. So there is a question in the chat from Eve. For those ones who are not there, can you please give us a short definition of narrative capital, spiritual capital, and social capital? And what is the difference between them?
I think it's difficult to make a short definition because it was just about 5 days of summer school, a very complex concept. But I think we have a material already prepared for someone who ask for some material. We can share also paper that are not so long, but now to imagine a definition of such a stuff, but What is in common among these ideas, as I said at the beginning, that these dimensions of life, like spirituality, narrations, stories, and of course relationships are form of stock, a form of asset of our communities. That is in common, but the specific definition of each of them, I think, is difficult to make in 1 minute, because there is a debate, and you need to read something.
Okay, thank you, Luigino. And so, okay, so
maybe sorry.
Yeah, go.
It would be, I mean, I was thinking that it would be nice to not us to answer the question, but for the participants to try to answer. And maybe we should find, so that could be an idea to kind of find a way to create, to document what we'll have learned. Not only by putting, because that we already shared, and that we can extend to the people participating to the seminar. Of course, we can share the access to the things that have been provided by the teachers and during the school. But it would also be nice, and I'm thinking already to the next edition, to create like a Wikipedia of the summer school, so co-created by the participants about what they have learned. Okay. So now it's a little bit too late to organize it for this, but it would be nice that to such an answer, to such a question, are the participants that answer.
Thank you, Matteo. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. And maybe you can put it in the chat, your email, if you're interested in the material, so we can, as Matteo said, we can share it to you. And so now we're going to pass, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the chat. And now we're passing to the best moments of La Verna. Are you ready? All right, just give me a second. Okay. Do you see it? Can somebody say it loud if you can see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And somebody wants to share a comment. Meanwhile, the photos are passing. You can say it. Huh? Feel free. Or share emoticons and so on. This is the poster session. So we have a time to hear new ideas and what the projects or research the people were working. There's a lecture of Matteo. Questions? Isa said many highs to everyone. Miss you. And now we're going to a museum to go a diary museum. So we visit this place close to La Verna. So we have the Explore. Some of you, I can recognize it. This is the diary of Economy of Francesco. So we keep a diary and we start writing before La Verna. So this is the session of the diary. And this is the top of La Verna. And then we have this session with two professors. He's from Germany and she's from Italy, North Italy. So we're basically working in research. Maybe Matteo can explain a little bit better about narratives.
Yeah, they just use the artificial intelligence to unlock the potential of narrative capital.
Thank you, Matteo. So here are the questions with them. There was a big session of questions. So it was pretty interactive session. It's more of the second day of the poster sessions. So we have 3 days of poster sessions. So here's Adriana, Maria, Antonio, where the poster of vocation and profit. Tommaso Bertolassi was doing a appeal. Each morning we have a appeal, a spiritual appeal, and he spoke about vocation in St. Francis in La Verna. This is Anika, she was doing a class for us, a lecture about what she explained before. And here, Luigino, do you hear me? Maybe you can. So we finished the best moments with this photo where we were actually really inspired. Luigino, can you say a few words about that photo?
I think you said a lot of important, meaningful things. We shared some ideas. The idea of this moment was sharing some emotions, experiences. Then I think we succeeded in doing that. And now we have to go ahead because also the idea of capital is useful for understanding what is a summer school. Is something that is accumulating over time. Then summer school is not just something that disappeared because it's past, but is some sort of stock that is a sort of accumulation of a common capital in the economy of Francesco that is part of our wealth, the wealth of nations, the wealth of economy of Francesco. Then you have to cultivate, you have to do some maintenance of this capital that is made of relationships among us. Then we will continue to do initiatives. There are things that are going on, the EoF Academy, EoF School. Now the global event of October 6th online that we are all welcome. Of course, not just invited, but just to be protagonists of that. And then thank you all. Thank you, Matteo, for the huge work you did, for all the staff, Anika, Valentina, of course, Maria, Chiara, and everybody, but thanks in particular to each of you, members of Economy of Francesco, because you are our capital. The main and most important capital of Francesco is human capital, because it is you, people's face to face people, each one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Luigino. So we invite you to keep in tune the news of Economy of Francesco. Now we are moving forward to the event, online event. So we appreciate everyone to see you again, and thank you so much. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye. Thank you, Marci. Thank you to all.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, até mais.
Ciao, ciao.